Hello and welcome to another episode of TEVAdrive. And today we're in late January 2022 driving this 2022 Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid. This is the top of the line SX version. You have the base EX starting at $45,000. Then you have the mid-trim EX Plus, and then you have the SX which is $55,000. These are all plug-in hybrid models, of course. And we'll give you a walk around of the car, show you the inside. Then we'll show you the interior features of the onboard systems. And then we'll take you for a spin in this plug-in hybrid car. It's a 3-row SUV that plugs in with a 51 kilometer EV range when fully charged with the 13.8 kilowatt-hour battery. We will show you the interior later on. Here's your lock button. So it doesn't have hands-free. You still have to press the button to lock and unlock doors, and the mirrors will automatically fold. You can just quickly see the inside of the car. We have the light interior with the 2 large screens. We'll show you the functions in a moment. Okay, you can see the back row. This is the second row seats. You have the beautiful dual sunroof, panoramic sunroof that actually opens, which is nice. This is a 6-seater version, so you have 2 and 2. There's also a 7-seater version available. These are captain's chairs. So if you need 7 seats, it's a separate option. Okay, so there we go. And then we'll show you the trunk and the third row. This is the for refueling, as on this side. The charge port is on the right, the back of the car. Okay, so to open the door, we tried. It doesn't have the kick function, unfortunately, but it does have a power lift gate. Here we go. It beeps when it opens. Once the third row is up, there's really not much storage space. There's just enough space for our drone case and then a few small bags, right? Folding of the third row seats is quite easy. You just pull on the cable here and it goes down. So right away, you have more space to put stuff in, and once the third row was down, we were able to put 4 huge boxes for the 22-inch rims for our Audi that we purchased for the summer. So 4 huge boxes of rims were able to fit in this space once the third row was down. So there's quite a bit of storage space, but then it becomes a 4-seater in this version once the third row is down. I did manage to jump inside the third row seat, and I'm 6'3", and I was able to sit in the back row. It wasn't very comfortable, but it's possible for short distances. So you can transport 6 adults in decent comfort for short distances. Okay, so here we are. We want to show you the front of the car with a beautiful LED setup. You have the daytime running lights, LEDs around here. Here is your main setup. The headlights are here with triple LEDs, and you also have the option of these fog lamps down here, double fog lamps at the bottom of the thing. And of course you have the radar for you have cameras and you have radar at the bottom. We got an error when it's dirty. We have an error that the radar is dirty, and we couldn't activate the adaptive cruise control in a few occasions. Okay, so when it's nasty weather or road salt or other dirt obstructing the view of the radar, the autopilot and the adaptive cruise will simply not work. Other than that, it's a beautiful looking car. It's considered to be a mid-size SUV. There's other models above it which are bigger, but this is the biggest Kia's biggest plug-in hybrid SUV, the Sorento. Okay, so let's jump inside and show you the features of the car and the dashboard. The specs of this car, just to quickly recap, is total system power of 261 horses with 177 horsepower coming from the engine, which is 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, and then plus the 90 horsepower motor, which is located between the engine and the transmission. It's a 6-speed automatic transmission. So both the engine and the electric motor are going through the 6 speeds in the automatic transmission. As you can see here, you have the dual screens. So the hybrid and the plug-in hybrid have a digital screen, a dashboard in front of you, and a large screen here in the middle, which gives you all the information, entertainment, etc. So on the main screen here, you have the various modes which you can control through this button here. By the way, the right-hand side, you have the mode for this dashboard. Then the rest of it is basically your autopilot and adaptive cruise control settings, and on the left side you have your phone and your entertainment, volume, etc., etc. The steering wheel is heated. It's manually adjustable. There's a lever here which goes up and down, and also telescopic. Okay, so you just set it at whatever position comfortable. The shift paddles behind the wheel are just for shifting gears. It's not like in the pure electric cars like the e-Niro, where it actually decreases and increases the regen. In a plug-in hybrid, those shift paddles are always strictly for shifting gears in engine mode. And then behind here you have the usual stacks. So on the main screen you have the various modes that you have. Right now it's showing you the trip meter with the fuel consumption. It does not give you the electric consumption. In order to get your electric consumption, you have to go to a different screen here on the main screen. But anyways, the second view is your autopilot settings. Third screen is your navigation screen. Right now there's no navigation set, so it's just showing the compass. And then it goes back to the trip meter, okay? Which is nice, neat little thing on the main dashboard here is the fact that the look changes according to the time of day and also the weather. Right now we're on a mostly cloudy, sunny day. And it kind of reflects what is shown on the main screen. At night, it'll show the night. At sunset, it'll show like a setting sun on this main dashboard screen, which is kind of neat. On this screen, this is your home button here. And the only one that's worth for us to review is a screen that's specific to a plug-in hybrid. So you have the button here called PHEV. The other one that to pay attention to is your phone projection. Once you plug in your Android phone, it'll go into Android Auto. So let's go to the PHEV screen right now. It shows you the EV range, the state of charge of the battery, and then you can see the energy flow. So right now we're stopped, and once we're driving, you'll be able to see if the car is using the engine or strictly the battery and the electric motor. Then you have your eco driving, you have the statistics of your hybrid fuel economy. So that's the engine, liters per 100 kilometers. And this is the consumption of the electric motor. So once we start driving, this will show you the statistics. As you can see, today's average is not very good. It's not as cold as yesterday. It's still -5 today when we started the test. Right now it's -2 with a very strong wind from the southwest. Makes it feel much colder. So right now you can see the electric consumption here. And that's basically as you press down on these buttons, you can see the range in gas and range in electric, percentage of the battery again, how long it would take you to charge of the 120. It would take you 7 hours and 30 minutes to full. At 240 volt, which uses 3.7 kilowatts of charging power, it would take you 2 hours and 55 minutes. From the lowest state of charge, this car actually, we haven't seen it go below 12%. So below 12% it goes in a hybrid mode, it turns on the engine. So the system will not let it go below 12%. And from 12% to full, it takes about 3.7 hours from 12% all the way to 100%. And at 100%, the rated range is 51 kilometers. Today, as you can see, we're showing 43% at 14 kilometers. So at 100%, it would be 30 because of the cold and having to use the climate system. In the summer, the 50 to 60 kilometers should be doable based on the battery size of 13.8 kilowatt hours. And the battery, by the way, in this car, because it's a three-row car, three-row SUV with 6 seats, there's also a 7-seat version. The battery is located under the front seats, apparently, which is kind of unusual, which allows then this car to have a third-row seat, which we have showed you previously. Here's your climate screen. It's pretty simple. Temperature up and down, dual zone controls. Then here you have your seat heating, 3-stage seat heating and seat cooling. The rear seats are heated, not cooled. Here's your gear shifter. Basically, your R and D and P is by pressing the middle button. Here's your mode button. So there's dual function to this. When you press it down, it has the first, when you press it, it's your terrain. So the terrain can be snow, mud, or sand. Then you press it again, it goes to different modes: eco mode, sport mode, and so as soon as I hit sport mode, you can hear the engine coming on. So that makes sense. In order to get the maximum horsepower, to get the full 261 horsepower on the car, you need to use both the electric motor and the engine. And then you have your individual smart mode, what they call it. So let's put it back in eco. And as we experienced during our drive up north, really there's no need to use sport mode. This is not a sports car by any stretch of imagination. So just keep it in eco drive. It'll maximize your fuel savings. Our test going north and back, total 300 kilometers, mostly on the highway, was an average consumption of around 8 liters per 100 kilometers. So a little bit more than the rating shows, about 7 liters per 100 kilometers. Then in the city, short stints in hybrid mode with depleted battery showed us a consumption of about 6.5 liters, which is not bad. You have your storage compartment here. You have your wireless charger, so my phone is currently charging wirelessly. When it's charging, the wirelessly charging, then there you go. It doesn't seem to be charging. I know it was showing, maybe because it's already at 100%, but this little LED shows you that it's charging wirelessly, or that it has already charged. Then you have a large storage compartment here. There's like a little removable shelf here, quite a bit of space here. Another little storage place here, and that's basically it. So as we mentioned, the battery is actually the high voltage battery is located under the front seats. You have quite a bit of the captain's chairs in the second row, 2 seats, and then there's finally the third row seats. And I was able to sit in there myself. I'm 6'3", and I was able to sit inside with another person of my size being able to sit in the second row as well. So you could have technically 6 adults traveling in this car, maybe not over long distances, but within the city, it's totally doable. Okay, and then you have the beautiful sunroof. You can either tilt it. It's a very cold day today, so I'm not sure if it's going to work, and I just went through the car wash, so I hope it opens. There you go. It tilts, and then it opens. You've got a beautiful opening sunroof. As you know, that's my obsession. I love my opening sunroofs. I don't like the fixed glass roofs. The fixed glass roofs like in Tesla or like in Jaguar I-Pace or Porsche Taycan. So we're closing the roof, and you have the blind that closes as well. Beautiful. We really like that. Okay, so that's basically it. Let's take you for a drive in this beautiful Kia Sorento 2022 plug-in hybrid. We'll be attempting to drive. The car is warmed up already. The climate is on. We have the seat heaters on. We can turn them off. We don't really need them. It's warm enough. We have the interior climate at 18 degrees, which is not very high. The outside temperature is -1 currently. It feels much colder than that because there's a strong southwesterly wind. So it probably feels like -10, but it's only -1 outside. So we should be able to get that 14 kilometers or 44% of the high voltage battery. And in order to determine whether the car is using the engine or not, the best display to touch is this energy flow. As soon as you turn your indicator on, it turns on your blind spot camera, which is located under the mirror. So you can see exactly what's going on. And then same if you do the right indicator, it shows you the right camera view so you can check your blind spot. Now, the blind spot monitoring system has 3 different functions to it. One of them is the screen display on the main dashboard that you saw. The other one is a little red light, and we'll try and show you as we're driving. There's a red light located inside the mirror, a warning light, and then there's also an audible beep when you're trying to change lane while a car is in your blind spot. So we're still in pure electric. You can see it's pretty quiet except for the noise from the winter tires. So we got winter tires, and we have to tell you that we went through a snowstorm in this car. The day we got it was a nasty snowstorm. There was piles of snow, over 30 centimeters fell in Toronto. We were driving through very deep snow. in this car, and using the snow mode here it's one of the options in the terrain button here. Using the snow mode, this car was like a tank going through very deep snow, no problem. So it's very good in snow, of course, especially if you have the snow tires on. So those snow tires now are causing a bit of a noise. You can hear it. You can also hear a little bit of the electric motor sound. Again, the electric motor is located between the engine and the 6-speed transmission. So the electric motor will be going through the same 6 speeds as the engine, which is basically the same case as in our BMW X5. Now, the difference between the BMW X5 and this car, when you're preconditioning using your phone app, there's a remote app, Kia remote app called UVO, and you can preheat your car. The difference is that in the Kia, when you're preheating, preconditioning, the system automatically will use its engine. It does not use the battery to preheat the car, whereas the BMW X5 will use the battery to preheat the battery itself plus the interior of the car. So that's one of the differences. And the maximum you can set the preheat on is for 10 minutes, where with the BMW and the Audi, it's basically up to 30 minutes for the preconditioning, which is, on a very cold day like yesterday when we started out, it was minus 24, 31, minus 31 with the wind chill. Probably more than 10 minutes would have been required to preheat the car. Yesterday, because it was much colder, the engine would come on much more frequently. Even at slow speeds in the city or the side roads, the engine would come on every few minutes. We got a message on the center dashboard that said that it's applying the hybrid mode, the engine on, to maintain the climate. So I guess when it gets too cold, the system automatically defaults to the gas engine for heating of the interior. So the auto steer, so right now we have adaptive cruise set at the speed limit. Up and down is here. There you go. We're gonna set it at the speed limit, and we have the auto steer on. So the auto steer system does not seem to be as keeping the car in the middle of the lane as well as the Kia e-Niro that we drove recently. Let's show you how it works. You see, it's not, there you go. When it's turning, it's having a hard time staying in the middle of the lane. So it's really a steer assist system. It's not a full auto steer. But the adaptive cruise works very well. You adjust the distance from the car in front of you using this button here. So, yeah, it's braking automatically. There you go. And it's gonna stop automatically. There's no stop and go in this adaptive cruise system. So when the traffic advances in front of you, you have to press the accelerator pedal in order to restart the adaptive cruise. As you will see in a moment. Use switch or pedal to accelerate. It even tells you on the main dashboard here. And we're showing now 10 kilometers left and at 37%. The hybrid system kicks in at around 12-13% of the battery state of charge. Some of the other plug-in hybrids will even go down to as low as 2%, just like our BMW X5. Mind you, our X5 has a much smaller battery, only 9 kilowatt hours. This one is 13.8, so almost 14 kilowatt hours battery. This is the gross size, and the net is much less than that. I estimate that the net, based on the length of charging it takes from empty to full, it's probably just over 10 kilowatt hours on the net basis. As you can see, the average consumption is not spectacular. Today's average is 8.8, even though we've been driving now quite a few kilometers on Lakeshore in pure electric mode. The average of our test over 364 kilometers total is 8.2, and that includes a couple hundred kilometers on the highway. Okay, so the car should accelerate. It does. As you can see, it's not following traffic as fast as it should. The car is quite off in the distance. Now it's starting to catch up. So it may anger some people behind you because it's not following traffic in front of you very closely, this adaptive cruise system. We're going down to the Gardner, and we'll see if we can get up to the highway speed using pure electric mode. We're still in pure electric. We're almost up to highway speed with the climate on. We'll set the speed at the speed limit here. There we go. We're set at the Gardner speed limit of 90. We're still in pure electric mode going uphill on the Gardner. I can feel it changing gears, the electric motor, but it is still in pure electric. So it's much better than yesterday when it was very cold. The car is able to maintain a pure electric mode even at the highway speeds, which is great. So once we see that the engine kicks in, we'll go back to the battery state of charge, and I bet you anything it's going to be around 12-13% of the battery. So we have another 6 kilometers or so to go in pure electric mode before it switches. Oh, the engine is on, so let's go back. The engine came on at 25%. I'm not sure why. We're going flat on the Gardner, and with 3 kilometer range left, and it seems to be that the system decided all of a sudden to turn the engine on. So the engine is on. We're still driving in EV mode, and it's the main dashboard says that. But the engine is on, and it's basically the engine is powering charging the battery, and then the electric motor drives the wheels. If we try and accelerate, and we'll try and show you in a moment, under heavy loads, going uphill or faster on the highway, or when you accelerate fast, the engine will actually drive the wheels directly as well. So you'll get the power like in sport mode. If we put it in sport mode right now, there you go. Right now we're in sport mode, and you have both the engine and the electric motor, as you can see, driving the wheels. Okay, so that's basically shows you that the sport mode, we can turn off the cruise control and accelerate. There you go. You can hear the engine, and you can see on the diagram that both the engine and the electric motor is driving the wheels, okay, in this all-wheel drive system. It's an all-wheel drive on-demand system, so it primarily drives the front, and then it kicks in the rear as it needs, if it feels the slip or slippery conditions, or if it really needs it, like in a snow mode, it'll be all-wheel drive, obviously. Other than that, for economy, in eco mode, most likely it'll be mostly all front-wheel drive when driving in eco mode. And so that's basically it for the driving portion of this test drive. Again, thank you for watching this video of 2022 Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, youtube.com/RASZEW. Thanks for watching.